Watchers, what is up? What's going on, guys? Unfortunately, as you can see, it's only little Joe here, so hope I don't take y'all too long or babble on too long by myself. But it's only gonna be me today, guys. Luck's working nights right now, so he's a little bit busy, and we've both been busy. Um, everything that we've got going on. So we apologize for the lack of shows the last couple of weeks, but we do plan to hit it hard coming up. And we're in the middle of May already, or coming up on the end of May. Actually. One very special dork dad, not naming any names, little Joe, has a birthday coming up, and he's gonna be the big 4-3. Which, you know what, it's always been a lucky number for me, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. Um, this year's been a different one, but every year's been great, and like every year I can with not only myself, my family, and you know, now with my best bud Luck, that we've been hitting this hard for a couple years. It's been going pretty good. So bear with me, guys. I am gonna watch a movie today. I do have a movie planned. It's one of my personal favorites that I highly recommend to everybody. No spoilers, but it's gonna get all the tacos. But it's also a movie that I don't know if I could get Luck to do. So no, Chuck. If you're thinking it, and Dave Maynard out there, it's not the Human Centipede. So I hate to disappoint you guys, but it's gonna be something I think we're all gonna like here. And as I get into the news in a little bit, I'm gonna maybe justify why I am doing this certain movie. No spoilers, no spoilers. But guys, how have y'all been? We missed the watchers. We've been on a tear, and me and Luck actually have something very special prepared. Um, I actually have a I don't want to give it up yet because if it falls through the cracks, I don't want to disappoint anybody. But I got a couple of guest spots lined up coming up here pretty soon with some very special podcast hosts, very special to me, especially um, that I've been listening to for a few years. And that gets me around to why I think I'm doing this today. Like, one, you guys know I can talk. I can ramble on. And the people here at the Casa Martinez, my fortress of solitude, they're a little tired of my rambling, so I need to ramble on to you guys. So, um, let's get right to it. Um, First things first, go Spurs go. Here in San Antonio, we got the number one draft pick, and it seems to happen like that every few years. Going back to when I was just a little chavalito of 7 years old. The Spurs got the first pick. They pick a 7 foot guy out of Navy that can jump out of the gym, and David Robinson, and he became our one of our pillars, so to say, for the next few years. While I know of the Iceman, again, I didn't watch basketball back then, or I wasn't very much aware, but I am told that I've been to a game at the Hemisphere Arena. But really, the first games I kind of remember were at the Dome, and 87 we got David Robinson. 89 we got Sean Elliott, and they made that crew for a while, but they didn't get their championship until we got another number one draft pick, and that was when we got the great Timmy D. And I'll tell you a little fun fact, guys. I was a little upset at Timmy D. Why? Because year before the Spurs had a horrible year. David Robinson was hurt, but one of the people that I liked on that team was Dominique Wilkins. You know, the great Dominique Wilkins. If anyone knows basketball, they know Dominique Wilkins, the human highlight film. You know, I love that guy forever. And he was on the Spurs team. And he wore number 21, right? And then, you know, so of course, you know, Tim Duncan is, you know, the person you should be drafting, and they're gonna draft him and bring him in. But I was like, dude could wear another number, man. Let Dominique keep his 21, but no, Dominique had to leave, and then, you know, again, I went on to forgive him. I've got 3 Timmy D jerseys myself, and you know, stuff like that. Um, but you know, Timmy takes David and takes the team, and you know, later on we get Manu, we get Tony Parker, and you know, they go on their tear. But you know, I'm not saying we're winning the championship next year, but this kid that's coming along looks great, and I don't really watch a lot of the NBA anymore, mostly because it's frustrating, right? Like these teams, you know, it's not. I hate to be that old guy, but as I say, my birthday's coming up, and it's not the basketball of yesteryear, right? Like I really liked basketball back in the day, you know. But hey, one thing I love about my city and San Antonio is the way we celebrate, and you know, we get that number one draft pick. You see the bar celebrations everywhere, of course, but um, you know, one of the San Antonio traditions is to go downtown and honk. And you know, again, people were talking about it. They don't know when that started or how that started or whatever, but it's a San Antonio tradition. Excuse me, guys. Sorry, but you know, it's great. I love it. I've done it. I've gone downtown to celebrate. One of the things I have always been proud of is that when you know San Antonio celebrates, you don't ever hear any dumb shit. You know, it's always family. It's always raza. It's always, you know, when you're downtown and you're part of the Spurs family, everyone's fucking getting along. You know, it don't matter who you are, where you're from, or whatever. You know, it's always, you know, all you gotta say is go Spurs go, and you're good for the most part. Now, there's been a rash of people online that have been like, oh, now y'all are Spurs fans again. Like, oh, the bandwagon's gonna break with all these people jumping back on. Fuck you. Like, I'm just, dude, come on. Like, so we're supposed to fucking celebrate them being, you know, trash and tanking? Like, were we supposed to celebrate that shit? No. No one does that shit. You ask my kids when they fucking lose, I ain't talking to them for like a week. Yeah, it's the way it is. I'm fucking raising dogs here. I'm kidding. No, they'll tell you. um, but yeah, man, it's great for San Antonio. I do think they do got a good young team. I like this Sochan kid. You know, I like Trey Jones. I hope he does come back. And I like Vassell. You know, so you know we'll see what they got. Keldon Johnson's good. You know, great. You know, so they got a good, I think, young nucleus. And the thing of all things is Pop is going to still be coaching. And you know, there's people who say what they want. You know, like Pop gets political. We don't like that shit, but you know, Pop is Pop, and he's gonna do what he does. And you know, he's always been the best coach to me. He's got 5 fucking rings. You can't fucking argue with that. Um, you know, so what are you gonna say? I don't know. You know, Spurs look promising next year. And if anything, there's something to look forward to when Dallas fucking disappoints me again in the playoffs next year. Which I said they're gonna make the playoffs. So hey, you know, there's that. Uh, but yeah, go Cowboys, go Spurs, go. Fuck everyone else. What else? What else? What else? Um, you know, Luck and I talked about Guardians of the Galaxy. Just came out. I cried a few times at the theater. Um, it's still fresh, so I don't want to spoil too much about it. But it was good. It was what it was. If James Gunn is done with Marvel, and it seems to be, as he's head of DC now, it was a good goodbye. Um, Chris Pratt's great. Everyone's great. Fucking Rocket, man. Who knew? You're gonna give this much of a fuck about a fucking raccoon when this shit first came out. Guardians first came out, everyone's like, "What the fuck is this?" And it's great, man. Like I love the three movies that they, and then not to mention the Avenger movie. So, um, it was awesome. James Gunn, man. James Gunn. I'm gonna get to James Gunn um, in a little bit here. Want to talk some more, a little bit of shit with y'all guys. Um, was thinking about like we hadn't had a show come out, so Luck's like, "Do you want to try and record by yourself?" And I was like, no. If anything, maybe I can get somebody on, and of course, we go to our good buddy Chuck, and Chuck was down to come on. But even he was encouraging of me to give something a try. And to be honest with you guys, when I first got into podcasting or into podcasts in general, you know, I love my job. My job's pretty mundane, and luckily, I'm good at what I do, and we're allowed to listen to headphones at work. So for the most part, I got my earbud in at work. I ain't fucking bothering nobody. Again, my work, it speaks for itself. So I'm good on that point. But um, I had to listen to something, and of course, I'm a music junkie, and when we get into music, um, it's gonna be a great episode that me and Luck have planned. But it's gonna be a big episode, so it's gonna take some time. But I am a music junkie. Guys don't get band tattoos on their arms for nothing. It's crazy. Anyways, um, I like listening to music, but to a certain extent, it's like I need something else to kind of stimulate me. And again, this is guys. I'm an old fuck, so this was early 2000s when podcasting wasn't a fucking thing, and so I'd listen to old timey radio. Um, you start listening to like iHeartRadio, shit like that, and they would play old timey radio. And what old timey radio was basically them telling stories on the radio. A lot of what podcasting is now, if you really think about it. And that's what I got into. And then I heard, hey, you like Batman, right? Like, well, Kevin Smith has a Batman podcast. I was like, Kevin Smith has a podcast? I love Kevin Smith. Start getting into Kevin Smith's podcast. And Kevin Smith, for the most part, he did Smodcast. He does with a partner. But Kevin Smith branched off, and as many know now, he has a bunch of podcasts, but he branched off and he started doing a podcast called Fat Man on Batman. And he did it basically waiting for the Dark Knight Rises to come out. He wanted something to do in the Batman train, so he got onto that. And while he does it with a partner now, it's called Fat Man Beyond. There was a lot of episodes where Kev went on by himself and did some things. So again, Chuck knows this, and talking to him about like, should I try it? Should I try and do a show by myself? It's like, one, I got enough shit to say yes, but the other part of it was just that in honor of the great Kevin Smith, who I still love, I wanted to do it by myself. I wanted to give it a try and do something. Again, guys, I'm sorry if it sucks. I really apologize. But as me and Luck a lot of times say, it's like, well, we hope that people enjoy what we do. A lot of these shows that we do, a lot of times we do it for ourselves because, man, and for anyone out there, like, sometimes you gotta get, uh, I guess, the thoughts in your head, the thoughts, like, you got a lot of shit to say, you gotta get it out somehow. Um, and hopefully you do it in something like this where, um, I go back to Kevin Smith and something he said a long time ago, around the time of the mass shooting that happened, when the Dark Knight Rises came out. If you guys remember that, and it's like you can put a lot of darkness out in the world, and you can and do all this shit, but why don't you go out and create something and make something positive? And hell, I'll fucking quote. I know Chuck's quoting something else, but Just Another Friday Night is one of my favorite podcasts, and something that they talk about, that I caught on to, and I liked, from one of their very first shows, and they say it in every show. It's like, if there's something you want to do it. I know it's from the Avengers, guys. Don't shit on me and say that I'm saying quote Chuck made up this quote, but it's true. There's something you want to do it. Get your shit out there, talk your shit. I love to talk shit. It's my favorite fucking thing in the world. Um, so get your shit out there. There's nothing more to it. Um, Again, I would advise you all to find a friend, a good as friend as I do, as I have in Luck, and someone that for the last 2 years has just been like, dude, sit your ass there and fucking talk. But now this year he's like, hey man, you got to learn how to do this stuff too. So I might as well give it a go. So and again, solo podcasts are nothing. Before I met Lucky, he did the Dork Dad podcast, and he would do that all by himself. And he'd have listeners like me that would sit there and listen for 2 hours. And it says a lot about me, but I love it. That's why I'm friends with the guy. Dare I say, it's one of my best friends out there right now. And I appreciate everything he does. So when he told me, he's like, hey man, why don't you try and do one by yourself? I felt like I had to step up to the plate for the team and do it. So, one, I hope I make him proud. Two, I hope I make the watchers proud. So there's my rambling, guys. I'll stop rambling, and I'll take it back to what I was talking about with James Gunn and James Gunn taking over the DC universe. One, I'm happy for it. I think the dude's gonna do well. I hope that WB treats him right, which that's another fucking nutshell. But he did great with the Peacemaker. WB started letting them play with a little bit of the big toys there, and now he's going to be part of this this universe. He did Suicide Squad, everything like that, but now he's creating his own universe. And one of the rumors, guys, that I heard was James Gunn really likes Darwyn Cooke's Justice League: The New Frontier. If anyone's ever heard me fucking talk about it, DC animation is like one of the best out there. I mean, fuck, you can go back from Batman the Animated Series. From then on, DC animation has been top notch. Hell, if you have the Max app, as it's called now, I would highly recommend you look at a lot of the DC animated movies. But, you know, anyone that knows me knows I really love this DC Justice League, the New Frontier movie. Now, this is a straight to DVD uh, animation movie, and now I guess it would be straight to streaming um, movie that came out in 2008, and it's an Elseworlds movie. It's an Elseworlds book, which means it's not a DC continuity book, but it's a great story. Like, there's a lot of great parts in it, and while it has its fans, and as well as guys, if it has fans, it has haters too. So there's some hate on it, and I think during the movie I'll be able to cover at least some or all of that. But it's a short watch, guys. It's a great movie. It's a great story. Um, I highly recommend it to anyone looking for a movie to watch out there. Like, I watched it. Now, I would be keen to warn you guys um, that there's some issues with it to where um, it's not for kids. I wouldn't say it's for kids. I have a 9-year-old daughter, and guys, I wouldn't. There's a couple of parts in it um, that I wouldn't let her watch, and just because there's some killings in it, and it happens pretty quick in the movie. So, um, if you have the HBO Max or the Max app, um, I would recommend that one, I would recommend that you guys get it, but um, I would say you could watch it on there. And as you know, as we like to do on Now Watch This, we watch the movie and we just kind of talk along through the movie. Now you're only gonna have me, so once again, I apologize, guys. It's only me, but I'm gonna try and talk you through the movie and throw out my little fucking key points here or there. I don't know too much. I read a lot, guys, and I listen a lot, and I got a lot of fucking off time on my hands. I'm like Batman. I don't sleep a lot. All right, guys. So I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get ready. I got the movie queued up. At the WB logo in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Now, the cast to this fucking movie, guys, is top notch. The cast in this movie, it starts off with the dialogue by the great Keith David. And if you know Keith David, one of my favorite movies that he's in is fucking Dead Presidents. But uh, for something that everybody probably knows, he was the stepdad, and There's Something About Mary. It's like, how do you get the beans over the frame? He was that guy. So Keith David starts off, and he's the voice of the center. And the center talks about, he's this kind of being that's been monitoring Earth for so long. And, little by little, he talks about the evolution of people, and he talks about men, and, how men have grown too deadly, and in a short amount of time, men are going to destroy the earth, so he must destroy men. Right? That's what every big villain wants. As you'll see, the center ends up manifesting itself in what looks like the island from fucking Lost, and has a bunch of dinosaurs on it. It's fucking weird, but again, you gotta. I like period piece movies. I like, um, even fictional ones. Give me a movie about fucking World War II, and I'm watching it all day. We get into war movies, it's great. Now, I just talked over the first one, but basically the center story is getting told, and this guy can, or this being, or whatever it is, can kind of take over the mind of people, and he has uh, an author telling the story. Now, you see it a lot today, guys. So many of the conspiracy theorists talk about, you know, they're putting shit out there in the movies and in books because it's really gonna happen, and they don't want us to freak out when it fucking does. So yeah, it is what it is. Now, as the movie starts off, it's in the prologue, and you gotta, if you read the comics, if you if the graphic novel actually, if you read the graphic novel, you'd be able to know. You'd be able to know. So again, sorry guys, you know more of the background, but it kind of is telling you, um, a lot of the superheroes started getting, locked up. Not too off of the other DC project, the Watchmen. Not too far from that, but like they do, sort of like the Incredibles. Again, for those of you that are more apt to that, talk about like, a lot of the superheroes got put away, and you know who's the one superhero that will not be a vigilante anymore, and keep heroing, and the two people that kind of stick behind are Superman and Wonder Woman. Now, movie starts off in Korea, 1953. So this is just at the end of the Korean War. So again, you're thinking 50s for this movie. Don't try and put it into today's terms. Think of it back then. Think of America back then. American ideals back then. Um, for me, this is classic superhero stuff right now. Um, and again, Americana back in the 50s. Now, there'll be a lot of people tell you that, hey, shit wasn't too good back then. It wasn't as pretty a picture as they placed it. I understand that. But that's why, it's good to get in these fictional things sometimes, right? Gotta let yourself go, guys. Gotta let yourself believe in some things. You know what I mean? But again, I don't want get too much into that. Yeah, it's a great movie. Now we start off um, with Hal Jordan, right? We all know who Hal is, right? Our Green Lantern, our guy. Um, um, you know, Hal's again. This is early in the movie. Hal's fighting in the Korean War, but again, war's over. Um, again, these people that he's fighting, they don't know the war's over, so they end up shooting him down. He ends up ejecting. Now, when he ejects, man, he fucking comes down, and he's coming down. He ejects in the enemy territory again. He tells this kid, he's trying to tell this kid, and it's a kid, a lot of stories told about, kids being forced to fight back then. Um, so, crazy stuff. But again, Hal comes down right on the kid, but then, wants to freak out and tell the kid that, listen to me, the war's over when the kid's trying to kill him. So, again, it starts off pretty fucking gritty. Um, you know, as all airmen do, he's carrying a revolver and puts a revolver to the kid's face and for the second time in this movie, somebody has a bullet in their head. So again, we're what, not even 10 minutes into this movie, guys, and we've seen two shots, two people shot in the head. So it's not a kids movie, and that's why I recommend against it. Um, we get into the Gotham Observatory. Now this movie is gonna fucking move, guys. It goes through it pretty quick. And at the Gotham Observatory, again, the novel goes more into it, but this scientist is trying to send a signal to Mars. What he actually did was bring somebody over from Mars, and he was so shook or scared by that creature from Mars that he fucking had a heart attack and died. Which again, kind of weak in the story, but it is what it is. Now, who comes from Mars, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? But old John Jones himself, the Martian Manhunter. What do we know about the Martian Manhunter? He can kind of take the form of anybody, and we see that's what he's done quickly here. And we start about his journey. This movie, now, I tell you, I love this movie, guys. I love it. People know that I love this guy right here. Right? Love him. He's not in this movie a bunch, but it does have one of the best fucking Batman scenes in this movie. Now, Superman, Indochina. Who does he come on Wonder Woman? Now, one of the great parts about this movie that I like, and again, it's the old school fucking Superman. He's got the fucking boxer joints on the outside. Him and Wonder Woman, they're fighting for America. But Wonder Woman tells a story, man, and it's a pretty creeped out story. Wonder Woman's in Indochina. She's freeing some slaves. Now, these women are slaves, and they're kept in cages. They don't exactly say it, guys, but there's some inclination as to why they're in these cages. And it's not good. I'll just leave it at that. But Superman gets kind of pissed, and he's mad at her because he's like, hey, they paid us, or they put us up to being this, like, you're gonna give America a bad name. Clark's forgetting, man. Clark is from fucking well, he is an alien. He grows up in Kansas. He's, I guess, he's American. I know they got a lot of shit about, well, he don't say truth, justice, and the American way anymore, and stuff like that. But come on, he's still a country boy, and again, I always liked the way it was portrayed in this movie. The way him and Wonder Woman's was portrayed in this movie. But Wonder Woman talks about, like, these women were held captive, and she's like, well, how did the rebels, how did they die? And she's like, I didn't kill them, but I opened the cages and I placed the guns. She's like, the guns in between them and the cages, and these guys, the women who were in the cages. And again, it's kind of sad, not sad, that these women are being kept as slaves, possibly prostituted, human trafficked in today's terms. So again, there's some crazy shit. Now, Wonder Woman, I really like that they made her bigger than fucking Superman in this movie. Taller than Superman. She's an Amazonian woman. She kind of should be. Great at the end of this fucking scene. She's like, there's the door, spaceman, and the motherfucker leaves. Man, it again, good stuff, guys. It's again, it's showing all the members of the Justice League. You know, Superman and Wonder Woman is still out there. Batman's back in the shadows, working, stuff like that. There's no Green Lantern. Flash just comes about, but Flash himself is working, and you'll see there's fucking government groups that are trying to catch the Flash. So it's good stuff, man. Um, I haven't talked too much about the cast, but it is a great cast. For one, David Boreanaz, as you guys all know, from what was he in Buffy and all that shit. He's Green Lantern. Miguel Ferrer is John Jones, Martian Manhunter. Neil Patrick Harris is Barry Allen. We haven't seen him come out yet. John Hurd, Kevin McAllister's dad. He's Ace Morgan. And one of the ones that I think is on point, Lucy Lawless. Xena herself plays Wonder Woman. I mean, that's just fucking great casting, isn't it? All right, so we got Superman here. Guys, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I love Supes. He's a great guy. I hate Lois Lane. Now, I liked her in the Man of Steel movies because she wasn't as helpless, but again, she's Superman's real kryptonite and real weakness. Like, this dude's always getting into shit because of her, always doing shit because of her. Fuck, look at the old fucking 80s movies. He fucking simps out and fucking turns the world backwards. Like, fuck everyone else, right? Lois died, so I gotta turn the world backwards. Fuck that. And Margot Kidder, are you fucking kidding me? I ain't turning the world backwards for that bitch. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, Superman, that's why Batman will beat him every time. It's like, I want you to know, Clark, in your darkest times, the one man that could beat you. Alright, that's Dark Knight Return. We'll do that one. I gotta do that one with luck, guys. So I gotta do that one with luck. Alright, I believe we got Hal and Ace, gambling there, and we got a crooner here. I love this guy, Joe Mantegna. Anyone knows Joe Mantegna? Famously plays Fat Tony in The Simpsons. But he's got a little bit part here. I remember he played Dean Martin in the Rat Pack, and that's the exact fucking voice he's doing here. But again, and in John Jones, well, you don't know who's fucking John Jones, who's not. Now, Joe Mantegna was just hitting on the Flash's chick. And you know how that is. Fucking Flash didn't show up. Get our first look at Barry Allen here. He's young in the Flash. He's talking to Iris, and he just so happens to be talking to her when Mr. Code walks in. And at the end of this movie, guys, we're gonna get a look at a lot of the villains, but I like that they showed us Mr. Code here. And again, we saw the central villain in the beginning of the movie, right, guys? We did. He'll start to show up here, but this is they kind of go around and they introduce us to all the Justice League. Well, the people that are gonna make up the Justice League. Luckily, Barry was on the phone with his fucking chick, and he races from Central City to, I guess, Vegas, and he's on his way there. Now, guys, I know, Marvel's the home of good stories. I love a lot of the DC stories. Um, I love a lot of DC villains. I like them both. I grew up on the '90s X Men as well as everybody else. So and I mean, Spider Man for me is my top Marvel. Um, so Barry goes, and Mr. Code is one of his villains. Um, you know, he's in front of Hal Jordan and Ace there, and this is one the I've seen this story play out not only here, but it's if anyone was a fan of the Justice League show, I think it played out there as well. Uh, um, but again, talk about Flash being kind of new in this. Mr. Code plants 5 bombs around the city. He tells them there's 6. The 6th was just a wild goose chase so he can get away. He realized it. They realized it. Um, he ends up catching them. Now, one of the parts that they bring up on here and that they bring along is that uh, as they're going down, the center takes over Mr. Code, and he turns to Barry and he's like, "You run faster than the other lesser beings. Why is that?" And it's pretty fucking crazy. Um, Again, it's a different fucking story, and it's I like the way it's done. I like the way it goes. Um, uh, so again, it's good to me. It's great. Now, fucking Mr. Code snaps out of it. He's gonna shoot the Flash, but Barry fucking rewired his thing. Now, I don't know about Barry being a fucking a whiz like that. I know he's a forensic whiz. He's very smart, but I didn't know he could rewire shit. But that is what it is. Barry gets mad. Don't ever miss my iris. Um, I don't know. I've never been a big Flash guy. Do y'all like the show? I don't know. I never watched the show too much. I know there's a lot of people that swear by it, and Grant Gustin's a great Flash. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing this Flash movie. I know a lot of people are giving him shit about this kid coming out and doing it, but it is what it is, man. We're there for fucking Keaton. I do have a friend of mine that has seen it and kind of talked about it a little bit, and it was great. He talked about it being great. So I mean, this is a guy who I do believe, and I do, I do, I guess, care about what he says. So I do appreciate his thoughts and everything on it. Now, I asked him about another movie that I want to do, and he's like, "No one's seen that shit." So I don't know. I don't know about his opinion there, but his opinion is one that I value. So, okay, we got Hal and Ace driving to their center, and again, it's the way it's done is great. They drive into Ferris, and Ferris is a ODC person as well. So I like that they used a lot of the people in the DC universe. Now, some of the gripes that I've had, like we talked about, we did Batman Forever the other day. I've always thought like in some of those Batman movies they could have used more DC people. Instead, they fucking made their own. So it's pretty crazy. Now, here's the one thing: like John Jones disguises himself as a person. It reminded me of an old X Files episode where the morph would sit in front of the fucking TV and morph into everybody. And anyways, little tangent there. But I always thought it was funny. It was like he morphs into an actor now. Wouldn't people recognize that actor and be like, Why are you being a detective, dude? Like, I don't know. Just me. Just me. Um. Okay. We got Carol Ferris here. I'm sorry, I was searching for her name. Carol Ferris, and Carol is played by Brooke Shields, and of course, fucking Hal's fucking putting the moves on her, and she's like, I don't date fly boys. He's like, well, I don't start working for you for 2 weeks, so we can. Fucking house move. Now a lot of Hal in this movie, guys. Not a lot of Green Lantern. Now it gets to that. We get to that. We get the Abin server and everything like that. But it's a lot of Hal. Now this movie's about Hal Jordan. It's about John Jones and Barry Allen. Got again. Everyone that knows me knows I love this guy back here. But this movie ain't about him. As a matter of fact, have we fucking seen Batman in this? Batman. Oh, we're gonna get our first look at him here. All right, so John Jones playing a detective now, and he's a detective with or a cop with this guy, and they're going in. They're gonna. They heard about something going on at a church, and what it is, it's a bunch of these cult members about to sacrifice this kid. I love this fucking part of the story. Now it starts off. You see Batman fucking just circle with them all circled around him, and he's just beating ass like Batman does, punching crime in its turkey fucking neck. I just love Batman, guys. He is the best. Like, he is the fucking best. A lot of people want to talk shit about him, want to fake hate on him. You can't hate on Batman. Batman's the best. So Batman's beating ass now. A fire starts in this place, and fucking John Jones, he can morph into anyone he wants, but he can fly, all this shit. This motherfucker sees a candle, he fucking starts having Mars flashbacks, which I think it works, because he's an alien, and what did they say about the aliens? Oh, we're gonna fucking burn them, whatever the fuck, Mars. Burn the Martians, whatever. That's all we could fucking do, right? But again, I think it's good. Batman notices it. Now, here's one of the great parts about Batman. Now he goes to rescue the kid, and the other cop comes around, and he's like, "Hey man, you're scaring him." Like, the kid got scared of him. Batman goes the fuck away. Again, Center makes another fucking appearance here, and he says, "You all will be judged too. You all will die." The Center, there's no holding back. He's coming for us. Now, we're gonna cut to another scene later with Batman, but he does something great, and it's very small. I don't remember it being talked about. I did see it talked about years after. Again, this movie came out in 2008, guys. But it's great. Like, I like it. Now, Rick Flag is who's taking Hal through his trials so that he can, become a space guy, astronaut, fucking space guy. Don't know, but Rick Flag. Where do you guys know his name from? Suicide Squad. Now, I want to say the Suicide Squad Rick Flag is Rick Flag Jr., which, spoilers, but we'll get to him at the end of this as well. So, again, I like the way this is done. And if James Gunn is going this way and he likes the New Frontier and he's going to make the Justice League movie like this, hey, I'm all fucking for it. Like, he could build it from here. Who's to say? Again, I've heard people love this movie, and I've heard people fucking absolutely hate it and shit on it. So it goes both ways, guys. But we all know DC has the Trinity, right? The big three. The big three are in here, but they're not the lead roles in this movie. The Trinity, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, they're not the lead roles in this movie. So again, it to me, I love it. It's great. Um, I highly recommend, guys. I can't say enough. Now, Carol Ferris talking to Hal about wanting to go to space. Um, and she's about to take him. Now they get there and he's like, "There's nothing here," and she's like, "It's below ground, bitch." And he started taking him down there. Again, just the way they kind of get to everything here is pretty sweet. Um, it's pretty awesome, and I'm gonna tell y'all this, guys. I don't mean to be the fucking um, conspiracy theorist or anything like that, but this shit is I mean can't be far off of what they're fucking really doing, right? Right? Area 51 out there, right, guys? Like, you know, I don't know. Since everyone was gonna storm Area 51, shit ain't been the same. So who fucking knows, right? Whose pendejo cousin got in there? All right. So Hal's seen the fucking rockets, everything getting made. Talks to Mr. Faraday over there, and he starts showing them around. And dude, like, they know about it. They know about the fucking scientist killed himself. They know about the art, the scientist that died. They know about someone coming over from Mars. Like, they're onto it, but they don't know exactly. So, um, you'll see as well if they're onto it. Y'all know who else is onto it. So, he's gonna find the dude and he's gonna follow up as well. You know. So they're talking about trying to go out in space and how's I'm just a pilot. Like, what the fuck you want from me? And they were getting ready to fucking take his ass out there. So, trip to Mars is going to be something they're trying to do and something they want to do because of Martian Manhunter coming over, and they want to know what the fuck they're all about. Now, this is one of the best fucking scenes ever. John Jones coming home, and Batman's there, and he's like, "Why didn't I?" And he's like, "Sense me, like you do everyone else. That's my secret." And so he starts talking to John Jones about, like, everything, going on. And, he's like, "I thought it was communist, but they're getting affected by it too. I felt it." And fucking Batman's like, "Yes, your feelings how?" And fucking John Jones like, "Well, that's my secret." And he's like, "You came in here because you want to work together, right? Check this out. I've been I've been collecting these fucking notices about it." He's got fucking newspaper clippings, and Batman's like, "Bitch, you'll have to do better than that." And Batman says one of the fucking most kick-ass things Batman will ever say. And Batman tells him, he's like, "Let me make myself clear. Um, I don't know what you're here. I don't know why you're here, but my instincts tell me you are to be trusted. But make no mistake about it. I got a $70,000 radioactive sliver for the one in Metropolis. For you, all I need is a penny for a bucket of matches. He fucking jumps out the window. Batman's one of the best motherfuckers, and it's true. Batman fuck shit up. Batman versus Martian Manhunter. I think Batman any day, guys. I'll just say that right now, just to piss Chuck off. All right, we get Gorilla Grodd. He's out, and Flash shows up. Right, he's supposed to. Flash takes out Gorilla Grodd. Yeah. Finds out it's not Grodd. It's a machine that the government made because they're trying to fucking get him. They come upon him, tell him you're government property now. When they try to shoot the Flash, motherfucker vibrates so fast that he gets out of there. And you can't do that. I mean, you can't shoot him. He's a fucking Flash. Flash gets so pissed off, he goes up on the news and ends up telling them like, "Hey, you know what? Fuck this. I was doing this to help y'all. Now I'm not anymore. I quit. Fuck y'all." Which again, it sucks. And again, it's like, The Incredibles. It's like, which Darwin's book came out before The Incredible, guys. I'm just telling y'all right now. Where these fucking heroes were getting, taken to prison for fucking, being heroes. I agree. There's got to be like some kind of regulation on them, I guess. But it's that same Civil War fight in Marvel. It's always going to be there, I guess. That are the vigilantes or the heroes. Who's going to regulate them? It gets a little too messy when you start getting into that. Now, John Jones interrogating the guy. Faraday comes up, shows up with Ace and with Miss Ferris there, and he's telling him about Mars and everything like that. He has that book that the Senator wrote, and it's telling them the story. Now, John Jones, again, Martian Manhunter, he can read people, so he knows some shit's up. And then he gets a good look at it, and he's fucking freaked out. Like, he kind of, realized that they're going to Mars and everything like that. And I forget what gets him on it, but you start looking around and they talk about superheroes getting killed. Our man got killed. God, I can't think of the other guy's name right now, but another guy gets killed. Now in the comic, there's a lot of like political people in there. This movie ends with JFK, but in the comic, it talks about Eisenhower. It talks about McCarthy, and in the 50s, people were being accused of being like a communist and shit like that. America don't like to talk about it, but they were putting fucking Japanese people in camps. Like, shit was going wrong back then too. So, again, John Jones is fucking fed up with it. He wants to go home. He comes up and he finds Batman's cave, the Batcave, and he starts to tell him, like, hey, like fucking, I'm gonna quit. Now, Batman, again, it's the 50s, guys. Batman's going through some slides. While he's looking for the Dinosaur Island story, he passed by Ray Parker, the Atom. He's in this movie. Um, Talked about the losers. The losers. I don't know if many know that, but there was a movie called The Losers that came out, I think, in the late 2000s, and it's a DC property as well. It's a comic book. Um, so again, it's little pieces, but it's good stuff. John Jones comes up to Batman. Hey man, shit's too tough for me, and on Earth, I'm gonna quit. I'm going back. Batman's like, yeah, thanks a lot, man. We don't all have that fucking luxury, so do what you gotta do. Uh, um, I gotta find that other part. Um, Now, John Jones goes on and he's gonna try and get on the ship going back to Mars. When he shows up there, um, Faraday sees him and knows that he's fucking there. So he gets a good look at him and he's going to get him. Um, Launch is going off, and I don't know. Again, this keep in mind, guys. This is still Hal Jordan doing this. Fucking Faraday caught him. Uh, you know, um, shit's about to go down. John Jones is fucking fighting him, but John Jones ends up saving his life, and Martian Manhunter, whatever, ends up saving his life. Um, you know, I don't know if he was going to get on the ship or he was going to stop it. Storybook goes that he's going to get on the ship. Now they launch. Um, of course, they're going to Mars. They were carrying some weapons on the ship. Manhunter fucking passes out. He gets captured. They have weapons on the ship, and shit starts going wrong. And Ace is just ready to pull the fucking plug. Ace is like, hey, we can't let these weapons fall back to Earth. You knew the risk, Hal. And fucking Hal's like, nah, man, I'm gonna get us down. And Hal fucking knocks Ace out. And as they're coming back down, fucking Ace hits the fucking the self destruct button, and again, still no fucking he's still Hal. He's not fucking Green Lantern, so we can't fucking pull him out of this shit. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, he's with Rick Flag. He's not with Ace. Um, but again, um, again, you know, fucking Ferris is there listening. Now she's all on Hal's fucking dick, and she's fucking pissed at Faraday, like, you son of a bitch, you're killing my boyfriend. And fucking Hal's like, fuck this guy. We're on our way back. And fucking Faraday calls in the big guy. We all know who the fucking big guy is. Now, why they didn't just have fucking Superman run the shit up there himself, I don't know. Again, they try to do some shit without Superman, knowing they can't. But that's one of the complaints that I've heard about Superman is that people talk about, like, it's just too easy with Superman. Like, there's no story because he's fucking too strong, or like I said, the Lois Lane gives him the weakness. I know there's kryptonite, but Lois Lane is the weakness that fucks him. Um, you know how One of the things I like about Hal in this movie is, again, we saw it. Hal fucking shot a kid in the head. Um, but not only that, like Hal shot a kid in the head, but um, you know, I think Ferris has some, hey, there's a couple of months missing out of your resume or whatever. What's going on? And he's like, he admit, this motherfucker had post traumatic stress syndrome, like he had PTSD, like a lot of fucking soldiers get nowadays. It's a real fucking thing, and he had to work through some shit, and again, we all fucking do, man. Like I encourage anyone to, hey, if you need it, get it. Seek that fucking help. But yeah, man. Again, it's not very kiddish. Um, at the end, they fight dinosaurs, and it is kind of kiddish. But the story itself, like people are fucking dying, people getting shot in the head, people shooting themselves in the head. This shit ain't for kids. And it's a good story, man. Like, um, you start to give a fuck about how, and you forget, like, this dude's gonna become Green Lantern. He's not there yet, but he's gonna become. Um, you know, but how twice in this movie, again, he's gotten rescued. He got rescued by Superman. And then remember when Flash came in earlier? He got rescued there too. So he's kind of feeling or in his feelings about shit. It's pretty crazy. Superman comes to John Jones' defense, says, "Hey, um, you know, I'm an alien. You fucking trust me?" Like, and Faraday's on it. Faraday barely trusts Superman. Wonder Woman's back on Themyscira, and um, as they do on her Amazon island, these bitches fight, and she's getting challenged, and you know, they're talking about like, hey, things have changed here, Diana. We're thinking that we need a leader who sticks around a little closer to home. And she's like, bitch, is that you? And they're fucking trying to kill her already. So, as Wonder Woman's fighting for her, what you call it, um, you start to see what's coming, and um, the center, the first stop is there, so they get ready to defend themselves against it. Um, Now, again, talking about how for so long here, we get the first look at the green, and um, I think they do a little bit of story justice here, but in different iterations, either Abin Sur or the Ring. Abin Sur dies, and the Ring finds Hal himself, um, or Hal is called to the Ring, and stuff like that. So this the Force calls the Force Chingao. It's fucking Star Wars. The Force calls Hal over, and Hal comes, and he finds Abin Sur. Abin Sur tells him the story. Y'all are gonna see, like, fucking Hal puts the ring on, and he doesn't know what the fuck. So again, these are origin stories. At up to this point, Batman was around, um, Superman was around. No one knew about Green Lantern. Abner starts telling story of the Green Lantern. I was here to help. Help how? He's like, hey, this fucking shit's coming. So you know, Abner starts telling the story, and it's great, man. I hear they're gonna do Green Lantern again. And there's gonna be, something coming out. I'm ready for it. Now, I've always liked John's Green Lantern, but we'll see what happens. You know, whichever one we get, I'm good with it. I'm be honest, I don't remember too much of Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern, and I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. So, whatever comes forward, comes forward. But there is an animated Emerald Knights movie. I highly fucking recommend that one. Like, again, the Justice League animation movies, starts off, I think it starts off, the continuation movies starts off Flashpoint Paradox. I think it goes into War after that. Um, uh, um, then the Atlantis movie after that. Um, um, and then the Batman movies themselves. Batman and Robin, Justice League versus Teen Titans. It brings in the Damian Wayne aspect of Batman, and I know a lot of people don't like it, but I love it. We get our first look at the Boy Wonder here, and Superman's in the cave, and he's talking to Robin, and right what I'd expect. Like, Batman turns around, it's like, "Have you finished your homework?" And it's like, "Fucking go do it." And Superman's like, "Oh, you got a new sidekick." And he's like, "Do you mind if I ask?" He's like, "Let's just say I set out to scare criminals, not children." And that little boy getting scared of Batman, it's so cheesy. That little boy getting scared of Batman meant something to Batman. And he changed his fucking look. And it kind of explains the kind of silver and blue Batman that he becomes. And then the mask, the horns came down and stuff like that. So, as many know, start off with the early Batman, had the long fucking ears, and changes came to his costume. And to know that it was tipped off, like, by this little kid being scared, and Batman caring so fucking much that he's like, I my intention is to scare criminals, not kids. It's just fucking great, bro. And it's why Batman is what he is and who he is, and why he's so fucking good. And it's another reason why I love the story. And again, 2 scenes with Batman. 2. I don't know if he comes back in it. I know he does, but like I'm saying, 2 scenes for the most part. Like, um, that's crazy to me. Like, um, uh, but it's great. Like, both scenes, fucking great. Now, Superman's battling the center, or battling one of the aliens coming out of the center. Um, Wonder Woman, Themyscira fell. Wonder Woman just made it back, and the fucking visual is crazy. Wonder Woman's fucking laying down there. She flew back in her invisible jet, and all you see is blood inside the invisible jet, and like a casing, like an outline, and it's fucking crazy. And the attack is on. Fucking the center's making its attack, and you're gonna see these people come together. One of the things I like is they show so many fucking different um heroes from back in the day, heroes to current, and it's crazy. So I'm not that guy. Like, I don't have the names of all of them, but I will try and name a few. Now the attack is on. Um, how John Jones is gonna become a fucking hero. um, and we see his classic Martian Manhunter look here, which I've always fucking liked. Um, and you know the fight's on. Hal's getting in it. He makes it back again. He has the fucking ring. He's fucking walking through the desert. Um, you know, walks into a diner. They're watching what's going on. Dude, like, again, can you imagine something like this actually fucking happening? Like, it's gotta be fucking crazy. I don't know. Again, I don't want to get too much into conspiracies, guys, but a lot of shit going on. Um, um, okay. The green starts fucking, the ring starts fucking glowing. The ring knows what it's supposed to do. I don't know what the fuck to do. Cut around to everyone. Um, Barry's gonna go fucking help. And Iris knows, of course, you know, she does his laundry. um, Again, it's the call to arms. It's everyone's coming together to fight this thing. You know, Hal's gonna show up. Barry's gonna show up. They're not exactly the Justice League yet, but it kind of shows how they form. And again, like if they fucking do it like this, like I could see it coming together. I personally, I like the White Martian start to the Justice League personally, but if they do it again, I'm gonna give fucking James Gunn um, a chance before I fucking shit on him. You know, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But god damn it. Um, you know, Hal going in and you know, again, he's got to do something. I'm not a coward, and she says you didn't fire, and he's like, I didn't believe in killing. So it talks about like Hal was in war, but his only killing was that one kid, and you know he's like I'll kill someone to survive if I have to. So you know he's going to fight. Carol wants you know some BB before she goes, and yeah, you know how that goes. So shit's going down. Flash shows up. Again, Green Arrow's there. Um, they got these guys in purple. God, I can't fucking remember their name. Challengers of the Unknown. They're big in the book, like the Challengers of the Unknown, and that's these guys in the purple. But again, they're there to fucking to help. Superman gives his fucking rah rah shish boom boss speech, and now that I have your attention, you know, before I have to fuck everyone up, um, you know, and it tells them, hey man, you know, this thing's here to fucking get us. We need to all fight together and and come together, you know, excuse me, to beat this thing. And again, it's for me, this movie is classic. And what I say about classic is like it's a classic superhero story. They again they do there's changes of different stories in it. You know the fucking you know the government being against the superheroes stuff like that. But I'm gonna just say it like one of the most popular superhero genre things right now is the boys. And yeah, everyone loves the boys. But again, what don't work for me, and doesn't feel right for me. It's just the we're superheroes, but you know, like oh well, every superhero has a bad side and stuff like that. Because again, the superheroes we grew up with, you didn't hear too much about the bad side. Now people will say, well, yeah, Batman's always been fucking beating the shit out of people and stuff like that, and you know, I've heard people say that you know, Batman's fucking a bad father and shit like that. I've heard one person fucking say that, to be honest. Um, but you know, growing up, I didn't think that way, right? Like when I played with my fucking with my toys, with my superhero toys, you know, fucking Spider Man was in there fighting with Superman and everyone. So they were all mixed together, but you know, it wasn't like, hey, you know, this is Batman, you know, like, you know, my first introduction with Batman was probably West, and then you think about like the Batman that came out in the Scooby Doo, but like the old Super Friends, and like I said, guys, if we have the fucking app HBO Max or Max as it's called now, you can go back and look at some of those Super Friends, and dude, these motherfuckers have Darkseid in there. They have everyone coming out, and it's good shit. Like it's good fucking stories. So I recommend anyone to go back and fucking watch some of that. Now I'm sorry I talked over it. Man went to go fight the fucking thing by himself, and he got fucking shot down. Batman shows up, and who did Batman bring along? Oh, Ray Palmer, the Atom. Now he's not the Atom yet, and he kind of has something to help them. You know, they come out with the plan. You know, Superman's down, but Superman rallied all of them to come back. Now Superman fell in the water. Lois gives the story. Superman, America's champion, is dead, and we all know. But Superman's down. Everyone else is like, hey, we gotta work. Like, they got the plan. And Ray, Ray shrinking being, it can shrink, but it's unstable, which is what they plan to do to the center and blow it up. Now, Batman looks killer in his fucking blue and silver here. That was probably my first Batman toy, bro. Like, he was blue and silver. Wasn't this black shit? Like, don't get me wrong. Luck's gonna kill me for saying that because he loves fucking Keaton's Batman. But that that blue and gray Batman, that's who I grew up with. Now, Cook famously in his book, he wrote the book and he did the illustrations. So they brought a lot from the illustrations for this movie. Dave Bullock was the director, and he did. I mean, he did more than just this. So, um, um, he was involved in like a lot of the Disney and Star Wars things. He also did some of the Legend of Tarzan. So again, but you know, majority of these DC movies, the animated, it's centered on or it's run by Bruce Timm. Um, uh, I think Berkowitz wrote a little bit of this, but it's using all of the old stories. This is basically Cook's story here. All right, so All Out Assault, and again, it's the '50s, man. It's not. You got to remember, they don't have the technology of today. You know, but you know they're all fucking going on and attacking this thing. They got their plan. Fucking pterodactyls are coming out now. I gotta admit, when this first came out, I was like, they're fucking fighting dinosaurs. What the fuck? But the I don't want to say horror historian I am, but I know of the movies of that day. You know, you were getting the classic. You know, some of the Godzilla, some of the creature feature movies of back in the day. Um, and what were they fighting? Big ass dinosaurs. So again, it fits for me. Again, I like a period piece. Um, you know, I can dig it, man. I fucking like it. You know, the Hawk Force fucking there, dropping bombs again. It's a bunch of aliens, so it's pretty crazy. But Batman and Friends clearing the fucking way for Hal to come later on. Fucking John Jones just proven to be useless. Come on, bro. You know, guys, I love the Snyderverse. I could watch that movie. What bothers me though, if that guy was fucking Martian Manhunter the whole time, and he just let everything fucking go, fuck him. All right, fucking Faraday gets eaten by a fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex, blows up its fucking blows it up. But again, it's a good part of the story. Fucking Martian Manhunter gets pissed and goes around killing everybody, and everyone's like, "Where the fuck was that at, bro?" Like, I know you can do this shit. Jimmy Olsen almost gets eaten, but there comes Wonder Woman to save his ass. Fucking challenges of the unknown, running around burning fucking him. And Wonder Woman fucking telling everyone to fight on. Let's go. It's one of the reasons why you love her. Now, Ace and Hal are going in. Keep in mind, Hal has the ring already. He's still fucking using the ship to fly. Like, he don't know. He's fucking dead. Go to Hal. Hey, and when are we gonna get a Mexican Green Lantern, huh? Huh? I'm about to fucking Verde Lantern. I don't know how to say lantern in Spanish, guys. I'm sorry, but why don't we get one of those motherfuckers? Huh? Sorry. All right, so they get in there and they start tripping. Again, you know, this thing's fucking with them. Does it keep going? No problem. Reminds me a lot of fucking Quantumania. Oh fuck. Um, but we get a little of reference to Space Odyssey here. Anyone's one of those fucking geeks. 2001 Space Odyssey. It's like the bay doors are not opening. Anyways, um, so you know it takes all this shit for the ring to be like, I guess I gotta save this motherfucker, and Hal fucking realizes, you know, who he is and what he is. And it says a lot for Hal because, like I said, you know, this dude was dealing with PTSD. Now these guys were you know they didn't know about the ring. They were pretty sure they were just gonna go in there and die and kill themselves. Uh Hal puts on the ring. He sees the fucking lanterns of pass that have heads that look like Watchers. If you know the Marvel Watchers look like. But you know he suits up, man, into his Green Lantern suit, and I had a Green Lantern. He was. I'm not saying he was my favorite because he's one of those guys like fucking Aquaman that you know when you and your friends were playing at the park or in the streets. I know kids don't play together no more. Um, no one ever was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna be Aquaman," or "I'm gonna be Green Lantern." Everyone wanted to be one of the big three. So maybe this movie changed some minds. I don't know. But Green Lantern is badass in himself. I do like the DC animated Green Lantern because they do some different stuff to him. Now, if anyone's ever read, and I do recommend, I can't think of his fucking name. It's gonna bother me now. Uh, the Justice League, and I talk about um, the I want to say it's called the is it Tower of Babel? Um, but I think Hal ends up becoming he gets taken over or he gets transferred into a parademon, and he's got to fucking live out, play out his existence like that, but he still fucking helps. It's a great fucking story. That ends up fucking at the end. It ends pretty crazy. Um, now Barry gets started on his dash, and basically they strapped Ray's fucking beam to the back of Barry and sent him on his way, and Barry's gonna basically his goal is to shine um, the beam on every part of the island, and I mean, if anyone can do it, it's Barry, right? Like, so again, he's kind of everyone has to put in their work here, and that's kind of the beautiful part of it. Um, um, yeah, and fucking Martian Manhunter. I told him, like, "Are you afraid?" And he's like, after he does it right, and he's successful, he was like, "I was afraid I'd be late to the victory party," and then the thing starts exploding, and they get fucking pushed around. Like, as it's exploding, it's still coming towards Earth, so it's still coming towards the coastline. So Hal kind of realizes, like, this thing's gonna do some damage. He's like, "Let's see what this ring can really do." And fucking Hal goes after the it's basically an island, right? And Hal's fucking gonna fucking circle it with his ring and just fucking throw it off into space. Which if they made a part two, I'm guessing fucking Hal man have pissed off some people in space. Just throwing that shit out there. Again, um, it's a good story for Hal, right? Like, I mean, this is the motherfucker. Again, I talked about Hal got saved twice in this movie. He got saved once by the Flash, once by Superman, and now he's the one fucking saving Earth. It's beautiful. Like, beginning of the story, he shot guy in the head. Now, they do again a lot of comic fucking splash pages on this, and they got the great scene of fucking Hal fucking floating up with the green ball behind him. It's beautiful. Um, it tells you again why you would like Green Lantern. Um, so he's gonna start to kind of fucking find his powers. But that's it, man. They all fucking band together. They did it. Everyone's fucking standing on the shoreline, fucking all smiles and shit. Like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, fuck Superman. He died. And and then something pops out of the water, and who's in the water, boys and girls? Um, Arthur himself. Again, even his fucking thing looks old. Um, you know, where Arthur got the medal, and I don't know. um, he's pulling the guy out, and who is this motherfucker? He's like, this one keeps asking for someone named Lois. Fucking, he ain't talking about Peter Griffin's Lois. Lois Lane. Superman basically got hurt and slept it off, and fucking Aquaman fucking found him. It's good, man. Celebrations all around. I love it. You know, they take a picture and fucking everyone's smiling. Like, everyone's all happy. They're called heroes again, and it kind of ends there. Now, it it takes place in the 50s. It ends in the 60s. What happened in 1960? We got a president, JFK, and that's what it ends. It ends with a monologue by JFK, and it's the actual fucking monologue. In the monologue, he uses New Frontier. We get a look at Lex, and it's gonna go like through a montage. JFK is giving the superheroes fucking medals, and then we're gonna start. It's gonna start listing off. I mean, it's gonna start showing people. God damn it! I wish I was good and knew all of these people. I swear I tried to look it up and I couldn't. It shows the clock. John Henry's son, who's going to be Steel. Rick Flag Jr.'s son. It shows him. Or it shows Rick Flag Jr., who we know goes up. Now, people say this is Young Justice that they're showing. I think it's the fucking Teen Titans. They show Riddler. They show Darkseid, the Manta, Brainiac, Grog, the Joker, of course. And then they show our heroes: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, the Flash, Green Lantern. It shows Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Flash, and Starro fighting Starro. And it shows our Justice League of America standing there, a gun. Bats and suits not there, but it ends on that. Great fucking movie. Did I mention fucking Doogie Howser was the Flash? I'm sure I said that. Great movie. I loved it. I it's my second time watching it today because I fucking reviewed it earlier. I don't know. I loved it. Again, I hope if you watched along with me that you guys love it too. Or I hope if you listened, I hope that you enjoyed my taking you through it for my first time by myself. I felt like I fucking talked too much, but it is what it is. I didn't want to leave y'all with any blanks there, guys. I'm sorry. But now Luck told me that I can get into our intros and outros here, but I don't know. I don't see it. So I don't know. I I don't want to I don't want to mess with too much. So, but I'll go into our little outros there. I should just sing them right. Um, I'm just kidding, guys. I'm not gonna sing. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. I'm not gonna put you guys through that. Um, but again, I hope you guys liked this movie as much as I did. I really loved it. But let's go through our little deals here. Um, Now, Lucky would ask me, he'd be like, "First Joe, that was like the best movie you've ever recommended. I'm now a New Frontier fan, and I will watch it like once every few years or whatever." I'll be like, "Oh, no problem, Luck. Like, yeah, I know. I always recommend the good shit." And then he'd be like, like when you told me that Monster Squad was better than Goonies, I didn't believe you at first. But after I saw the Monster Squad, I can't even watch the Goonies. And I'm like, yeah, I know, Luck. I know that's the way it goes. So, hey, what can I say? I have good picks, guys. um, Best part of the movie for me was I like it in its totality, but I liked for me that the superheroes had always had the good intention and had always had good on their mind. Um, I hate to say it, I love Batman. I love the little story of the change. Now it says in that piece there and in that part. Now the first part of it, Batman's with the Longhorns again. He's fucking he scares the kid. So what does he do? He changes his look and then he gets a sidekick, right? Because now he looks like a hero, and he has a sidekick, the kid's sidekick, that's not gonna fucking that's not gonna obviously scare a kid. And he tells Superman, I'm in it to scare fucking criminals, not kids. So, when you're asking what's the best around, that's the best for me. All right, so let's stick with that. Now, surely you can't be serious. I don't know if I have a surely you can't be serious for this movie. Um, Again, I know people have had problems with it. Wonder Woman lets women kill other women. Hal kills a guy in the beginning. Um, but again, like they use the proper DC people where they fit in. And you know what? I'm gonna say the worst part of it is, and I'll lead into the next part. I don't know if there's a part two to this. So that's the worst part for me. Like I wanted to see more of this story. Now I will say that the New Frontier book and graphic novel, it's told pretty well in here, but they did leave a lot out. So maybe that's my worst. And if I could change, you can change. Everybody can change. That's my change. So sue me. I don't know. Don't. I don't have a lot of money. So that's my best and my worst, guys. Now I tried to think of a special food that we could use for this movie for our taco rating, and I can't. I don't have anything left, but I'm gonna say something that I ate recently was a three pot taco, so I'm gonna give it four fucking three pot tacos. I love this movie. Um, I watch it. I'm not saying I watch it like once every year, but I've watched it multiple times. It's almost a comfort movie to me. So, and especially the Batman scenes in it. I know it's few and far between, and they're small, but it's great. Um, you know, I got a $70,000 sliver for the one in Metropolis, which means he'll fucking kill Superman. But all I need is a book of matches for you, which means he'll kill fucking Martian Manhunter too. Batman's just great. You're the best, Batman. You're the best. Um, that's it, guys. I think I've rambled on for enough. I want to give y'all some teasers down the pipe. Um, we do have our Sandler episode coming up, and that's going to be me and Luck. And we're probably going to go along with that one. Um, I've got a plan for a movie that, for me, May. I mean, my birthday's coming up, guys, but for me, May is right there in that sweet spot. It's in the middle of the year, and it's the halfway point to Halloween at this point. So I always like to get a little spooky around this time. Um, the wife and I, we watched a scary movie the other day. Um, that was pretty good. Um, we also watched the Air movie that came out recently about the Jordan shoe. That was pretty good too. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, I'm always in support of. Um, I've been listening to a lot of Your Mom's House podcasts and Two Bears One Cave podcast and the um just Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer in general, I guess. The Bert cast or whatever. I've been loving those guys, man. They're doing it right. So shout out to them if you can give them a look and give them a listen. Same with my friends at the Fun Bearable podcast. I've been loving them as well. Um, and the boys are just another Friday night. They're killing it. Uh, and they're killing it every fucking Friday there. So, guys, give them a listen, and then go, get on Facebook, go to the Watchers page, talk to me in luck, leave us a message. You know, we'd love to hear from fans. We've heard good reviews on some of our stuff. A lot of our stuff has gotten a lot of views and a lot of looks, so we appreciate that. But go like and subscribe to us on YouTube and on Facebook, and tell us what you want us to watch. We've got some stuff down the pipe. Like I said, I got a spooky movie coming up that I want to do. But go give us a like. Tell us what you want. Um, Chuck and Dave, we're not gonna do the fucking Human Centipede, so stop submitting that. Um, Other than that, guys, we're good. All right, man. I've rambled on long enough. For those of you that stuck around, I fucking love you. I appreciate it. Thank you guys, and keep watching and keep listening. Thanks. Peace.